Hello, Cancer, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of November 23rd through the 29th. And during that time, we have a waxing crescent moon, which is a really good time of heightened emotions, a good time to buckle down and get to work on those things that you've just started on the new moon. We do have a first quarter moon that comes in on the 28th, and that can be a little interrupter. It's a little, it's time when you feel a little bit impulsive and impatient. Your mind might be a little bit active, kind of hard to settle down and get anything accomplished, although that does come on the day after Thanksgiving. Also, happy Thanksgiving, but it comes on that day after. And if you don't have to work, then maybe that's good. That's a good day for that energy. If you do have to work, just know that sometimes that's good too. You can just be just heightened energy. So please pay attention to those moon energies as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Cancer. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: your dreams need a practical plan. All right, let's see what Cancer is trying to make happen this week in the realm of dreams, which is nice. It's good to have a dream, good to have dreams and aspirations. Love that. And a good time to be working on things right now, also with that moon energy that's going on. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder this week is that you get out into nature a little bit this week. So, I know that it's, and maybe on that day when, like I said, that first quarter day when you, if you don't have to work, maybe, take a little, I know it's day to shop. Maybe also find a park and take a hike that day. Maybe feed some ducks that day. Just get out in nature, get away, from the normal hustle and bustle of here comes the holiday season and all of that. Just get away a little bit and connect with the miracle of nature. It's just a good time to let yourself go and really, just relax a little bit with that. But that's my fun, friendly reminder for you. All right, Cancer, your present situation, the Fool card. So, your dreams need a practical plan. It looks like you're starting off on some new journey where you are trying to set something into motion here with the Fool card. Of course, this is just new beginnings. Um, you know, uh, leaping off that cliff. Your little doggy's reminding you, hey, that is a cliff. But, the Fool starts each new journey without really knowing anything. That's hence the name of the Fool card. So, we're all a little foolish, right, when we venture into something first, but lots of things for this Fool to encounter. And so let's see what's going to go. Your current situation right now is the 9 of Swords. So something may have you really, really stressed out, and it's causing you to take this new journey, or you're a little stressed about taking this new journey. So we'll see how that goes. Let's try to just relax a little bit. Let's not be so anxious about things. If we're all nervous about doing new things, and if you're setting out, it's okay. And some of this is a little normal, right? I think about stage fright. You know, I I've been a musician for years and in bands, and there's always a little bit of stage fright, and I always thought that was actually a healthy thing because it's almost like that energy, that happens before a show, and you're a little nervous about getting out there. And my kids that are performers too, any stage fright that they've had, I'm like, that's actually just, it's good nervous energy, and it means that you're caring about what you're doing out there, and typically you get out there and it kind of dissipates and you're fine. So if you're having a little bit of that, a little stage fright, or a little, just fright about taking that first step, let's see where your reading's going to go to try to help you get through that. At the root of your situation is the Knight of Pentacles. So this could be something that you're going to get paid for. This is action in the way of the material realm, the financial realm. But it's definite action. And maybe that's what has you so nervous. A lot of times if you're, let's say you're a musician and you've been practicing your craft for a long time, but all of a sudden now you have a paying gig where it's not, it is fun, but it's not fun and games. It's time to get paid too. So that's a little more stressor, added on, that, oh, well, now I'm actually getting paid to do the thing that I love. So that could be something. I'm using that as an example, but yeah, now it's a little more serious because now people are paying you for the thing. In your recent past is the World card. So of course this means you just wrap something up. It's really funny because The Fool is the beginning of the major arcana, and this World card is the end. So it looks like you have wrapped something pretty big up, with a couple of major arcana showing up like that. And whatever that was worked out. So when this anxiety comes in, you do need to look back on the thing that you just wrapped up that was successful and be like, okay, look, I got this. I can do this. I can do this other thing. Maybe it's something different that you're venturing into, but I'm sure there are some sort of similarities, that you can take from the thing that you were just successful at and apply that to the thing that you're about to do. What is on your mind this week, Cancer, is thinking about the future, of course, with this Two of Wands. So, you're definitely thinking about it, and you're thinking you're about to achieve some sort of goal. And even if it is just stretching your wings and getting it out there for the first time, and starting that journey, that's a great goal. That's a great goal to have. Just get it started. Usually once you take that first step to do things kind of start to flow. It's kind of like you just get the ball rolling. So don't be afraid to get that ball rolling and get that thing started for yourself. Okay, what is just ahead of you this week is the Ace of Cups. So I feel like you're going to love this new thing. You're going to love it. you know you're gonna have to let this go. Everything about the rest, look how brightly lit everything is in this reading, and you've got this one dark horse, right? So you're gonna love it. And if you can think about it, like I said, in the stage fright way, of course it's nerve-wracking to take that first step. I want you to take a deep breath and do it, and just work on really getting over that anxiety about doing it. I think because it's everything says it's going to be just fine. In your advice position is things are going to be happening very, very quickly for you with the Eight of Wands here. So things are coming in, and I think you're going to be fine. You've got to manage them. You've got to manage them as they happen. I like to think about, remember, I don't know. Remember the Lucille Ball thing where it's like a little comedy clip, and she's on the conveyor belt, and things are coming so quickly, and she's trying to package these candies, and she's stuffing them in her pockets, and I get this feeling when I see this card that it's like things are just happening, and you have to manage it very quickly so that you don't get overwhelmed. And now you're putting candies in your mouth and in your pockets and trying to, do the job too. So take a breath and just take things as they come, and deal with things one thing at a time. And just be ready. Just be ready for those things to be coming at you. This could be information coming at you, could be questions coming at you, it could be problems that you're having to manage, but just do one thing at a time and get it done, and eventually you'll have all those things off your checklist. Okay, what is beyond your control this week is the Six of Swords, which is definitely moving into the future in a positive, calm manner. So, whatever the step you're taking, I feel like all the cards are saying that you're capable, you're going to love the thing, even, and when you're in the midst of like even these things coming in quickly, it may be hard to say, oh, I love this in the midst of it, but sometimes by the end of the day, you're like, you know what, I got a lot accomplished today. I managed a lot of things well, and just pat yourself on the back a little bit, and you're like, I actually do love this. I mean, you may not love every single moment of the thing that you're accomplishing, but the big picture, you do love it. But yeah, you're moving into the future very calmly. That's beyond your control this week. So that's a good sign there. Also, what is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid is judgment. Interesting. So is this judgment of yourself or judgment by others? Are you trying to avoid that? And that could be a little anxious, that, oh, are people not going to, um, are they not going to believe that I can do this thing? Are they judging me because I'm doing this thing? Are you feeling that judgment? And I'm going to say, just blow that off again. Some of those thoughts they're just completely normal human thoughts that we all think, we're going to be judged, or, that again, it's that stage fright. It's like, because it's acceptance. But I want you to just try to really work on if you're passionate about this thing that you're doing, that shows through. And I used to tell my kids this all the time. People are thinking about themselves more than they're thinking about you, really, 98% of the time. So just don't worry about what others are thinking. Put your head down, do the thing that you want to do. This is your dream. Be practical about it and get it done. In your outcome position is a little bit of dissatisfaction here with what the universe brings to you, with this Four of Cups. And this could be, maybe by the end of the week you get through and you're just like, well, it didn't go exactly how I wanted it to go, but things will get better next week, right? So, and I sometimes sometimes it's just, there's you can't be perfect at everything that you try right off the bat, everything that's new to you. And so don't be such a perfectionist, Um, really evaluate what the universe is offering you. And should you be being disappointed because you have all these other full cups down here? Are you just like, no, I don't want that thing. I didn't know that was a surprise that's coming. So, really just take things in, try not to get yourself down about maybe things didn't go exactly as you had planned, because next week is another week. The next few weeks, the next cycle is another cycle. So, you learn and you grow, and that's just what each of us are doing here. What is hidden from you, Cancer, this week? Is the Lover's card. Yeah, I don't see you having a whole lot of time for your relationship. So if you are in a relationship, you need to tell your person right off the bat, hey, I've got a busy week coming up. I've got this thing I'm starting. I love you, but I'll see you next week. If I'm not trying to ignore you, but you're not going to be my primary focus this week. And that's fine. We all have weeks like that too, where someone else needs to kind of step back so that we can accomplish a thing. So let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here for Cancer as they take off onto this new path. Wake up call. Okay. Well, this ending could be your wake up call, and that anxiety, don't let that get the better of you. Again, stage fright is kind of an energy thing. It's kind of what you need to give you that energy to move forward. So don't worry about what other people are thinking. Put your head down, and you're formulating this practical plan to get this thing to come through and come true for you. So just work on that, work on the things that you're doing, buckle down and get it done. All right, self-care for Cancer this week. What does Cancer need to do in the way of self-care this week? And the card that you get is space. The quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space. So, what are you wrapping up and removing? I know you've kind of put your relationship on the back burner for this week, and that's okay too. You can turn that around next week or make it up to your partner. And I'm sure, partners are there to support you and give you the kind of space that you need when you're doing something. So, quality of your life has more to do with what you remove than what you add. So sometimes it is just letting go of something that makes success. Give yourself the space to get in there, to do this thing, and to be successful at it. And let's try not to be completely disappointed by the end of the week by the result. It'll get better again over time as you repeat, learn, make adjustments, and move forward. So Gemini, thank you so much. Or I'm sorry, Cancer, thank you so much for being here. I just did Gemini's reading. Thank you so much for being here with me. And I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in your week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know, did you try something new this week, and was it very stressful, and were you able to get over it? I'd love to hear those details from you. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, but most importantly, it'll help you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you next week. So thank you so much, Cancer. See you next time. Bye-bye.